Hey guys, and welcome back to another video from our Tkinter tutorial series. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the combo box. The combo box is a way of taking input from the user in the form of a drop-down list of options. Right, so let's get right into it. We're going to make a new import statement because the combo box isn't actually a part of the standard Tkinter. It's part of a submodule within Tkinter called TTK. So we're going to call an import statement like from Tkinter import TTK. Right, we'll get more into TTK later on in a separate video where we discuss what really it is and what other features it brings. Right, so let's start off with the combo box. Now, before we actually create the widget, we have to create a list of options that we're going to be presenting to the user. So let's create a list called vlist, value list, and let's put in some options here. Option 1, option 2, option 3, let's just make 4, option 4. Here we are. Alright, so this is our list of options that are going to be appearing within the combo box, the options that we're going to be presenting to the user. Right, so let's start creating the widget now. Self.combo. Now, instead of TK, we're going to be using TTK over here. Combo box. Self.frame. The code still remains the same. And we're going to assign the values list here vlist. This tells it to store these options as its values. Right. Now let's use a layout manager place. Let's store it at x30 and y50. Let's run this. And here we go. All done. We can see our 4 options right here. We select them and it appears right here. Alright, so I want you to notice a couple of things. For one, we can actually edit the text in here. Second, by default, there is no text here. Let's run that again. And you can see there's nothing over here. It's blank. So let's first show you how to put in some default text in there. We'll call it combobox.set, and let's say we want the first option to appear in there. So we'll just write the same thing here, and let's run this. And there you go. We can now see by default there is option 1 written in there. Right. And another thing I want to show you, because you might not want the user to be able to edit this, right? That doesn't really make much sense. So we'll take advantage of another parameter here called state. We can turn this into read only. Read only basically, well, how about you see for yourself? Here we go. And you can see we can no longer edit any of the values here, and which I think is honestly the preferred option in most GUIs. Alright, now of course the most important part here is actually how are we going to retrieve these values from the user, right? So, well, in order to do that, we're going to have to create a button, just like we've been doing in previous tutorials. Self.button equal to tk.button. And well, if you consider it syntax-wise and what functions can be used, the combo box is actually very similar to the entry. So roughly the same functions and same parameters work. Let's say the text of the button click me, and let's just place that quickly. Same x, y, and we'll put it just a bit lower actually. This leave some space for the options to show up, and let's of course create the function. We'll call it submit actually, since we're submitting a form in a sense. And here we go, print self.combobox, and if you remember, we used the get function on the entry box as well, so we're going to use get here once again. And don't forget to pass it in here. Command submit, self.submit, of course, and that looks just about all right. All right, so let's not pick anything at first. Let's try this. Where did that happen? Right, typo. And click me. There, option 1 shows up just fine. Let's select an option now, option 3 and option 3. And well, as you can see, it's working perfectly as expected. Another useful customization is justify. Justify adjusts the position of the text within the combo box. Let's try justify is equal to center. The other options are right and left. By default, of course, it's left. Let's run this. And as you can see here, the text is now right in the center of the combo box. But as you can see, the text over here hasn't actually changed. It only changes, only the displayed option here actually changes. Right. So the second thing I want to show you is height. So let's say that we have a combo box with a whole bunch of different options. Hold on. It's about 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's run this and see what happens. Now, okay, now you can see here the list of options has gotten a bit too large. So how about we actually change this up a bit? We change how it displays. We're going to change the height. What does this do? You'll see. See, it only displays 5 lines. The rest are basically shown by scrolling. You have to scroll down in order to see all of them now. Of course, you can just scroll using the mouse as well. And well, yeah, height is basically the parameter that's used to control how many lists are displayed before it begins scrolling for the rest. Right, and that's about it for this video. In the next, we'll be discussing the list boxes and menu buttons. So stay tuned and well, subscribe if you want to see more.